What's going on, guys and girls? So, if you watch the first video in the 10 minutes or less playlist on my channel, you'll know that you could find the raw photo that we'll be editing down in the description below. With that being said, you should also check that video out while you're at it. And just a disclaimer, this is not my photo. Credit goes to the Reddit user TeddyZ2000. Hopefully I didn't butcher that, but basically you could find all types of raw photos that you could practice on in the Edit My Raw subreddit. Of course, all the links will be down below, so be sure to check that out. Alright, enough talking. Let's get to the fun stuff here. I've already wasted like a minute. There is one thing that I can appreciate about this photo, and what that is this photo right here that you're looking at right now is actually taken from a phone. At least that's what the metadata tells me. So if that's lying to me, then I'm sorry, guys. I let you down. But hopefully that is true. That just means that anyone can go ahead and pick up a camera, a phone, and just go outside and apply photography, because you're never going to learn photography without applying it. So that means get off YouTube, get off internet forums or whatever, and go out there and apply photography. Something that I'm pretty guilty of because I haven't been doing that lately, but whatever. So I'm just gonna go ahead and align the photo. That looks okay, I think, right? And then we're gonna go ahead and change the temperature to a more cooler temperature because we're dealing with water here, all right? So we're gonna drop it down maybe to like let's play with a slider here. Let's do 4600. That's good. We're not going to mess with the tint there. We are going to drop the exposure negative 0.5. That's pretty good. We're going to bump the contrast just to 10. I don't really mess with contrast, and if I do, it's, in between negative 10 and 10. I don't go too crazy, otherwise it just looks horrific. I usually don't go too crazy with sliders in general. But anyway, let's get to the highlights. We're going to move that to negative 100. How ironic is that after talking about the contrast? We're going to move the shadows to 100. And we're going to find the white point and the black points. And there is a couple ways to do that. So I'll show you one way. If you want to go ahead and hold Alt on your keyboard, and we're going to click the slider and move to the right. And you'll notice that we're getting white now. That means that's your white point pretty much. So I'm going to leave it right about there. If you go any further, you're going to start clipping the white. So I'll probably end up going to like, we'll go to around 15, 17, whatever. That looks good. We're going to do the same thing with the blacks, except instead of going right, we're going to go left. Clipping the blacks is no huge deal compared to the whites. We'll leave it at that. That looks good. We're going to come to clarity, bump that up to 10. Just gives it a little more contrast, you know what I'm saying? Saturation, we're going to bump to, let's do like 20. In most of my photos, I think I desaturate the images, but in this kind of like landscape photo, we'll go ahead and saturate that just a bit. All right, tone curve. This is where everything, where the difference comes in. So we're going to put 3 points on the curve here. I always mess it up. Like I never put 3 straight points. But anyway, 3 points. Okay. We're going to come to the leftmost point. And I like to fade my images in the shadows and sometimes in the whites. So I'm going to bring this up just a bit, and as you can see there, the blacks are starting to kind of fade. So here's like a before and here's an after. It kind of gives it that vintage look. Like I said, guys, you don't have to do this. It's just my style. And we're going to take this point and we're going to drop it down just a bit. Okay. And then we're going to take the middle point. We're going to also drop that down. Make it look a little more dramatic, right? We're going to take this point right here and we're going to bump that up just a bit. Okay, and then we're going to take the rightmost point and drop it down just a bit to get that nice S curve going here. I'm going to bump that up just a little bit. Yeah, so here's before the tone curve and here's after the tone curve. So just adding a little more contrast gives you more contrast control, more local control. So that's what the tone curve is good for. Oh, by the way, if you don't see the tone curve, you might see something like this. If you see something like that, you could just hit that button, then you could get the tone curve. I should have said that before. All right, we're gonna come to the colors. And what we're going to do here is we're going to desaturate the blues just a tiny bit so it doesn't look like too over dramatic, I guess. And just a quick before and after. That's before. Look how flat that is compared to the after. Amazing, right? This is like magic. Whoever programmed this is a wizard. All right. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to take the grad filter. You could just hit M on your keyboard or click it. And we're going to darken up the sky just a tiny bit. I'm going to move this probably... what's going on? Okay, we'll do something like that. We're going to do maybe like negative 0.25. Just a quarter, you know, probably drop this down just a bit. Okay, we're going to hit enter there. We're going to do the same thing from the bottom up, right? We're going to go negative exposure. Maybe right there is good. We're probably going to bring this up just a bit. Take the tint off that. Okay. My mouse is freaking out today. Okay, so here is a before and after, looking good, but we're not done yet, okay? We're going to come all the way down, skipping all this garbage. I'm going to check remove chromatic aberration. I don't have time to explain what that is in this video because I'll probably go over my time limit, so we'll just skip that. You could Google search what it does. We're going to go down to camera calibration here, and we're going to change the blue primary. Now, this basically will change the tone of the blues. And I really like messing with the camera calibration. Like, it's not really a staple in Lightroom editing. A lot of people just don't even use it at all, but I think it's a cool... It gives your photos a nice little twang, and you could develop a style from it. So that's why I like to use the camera calibration module here. So we're going to drop this down just a bit. It's going to look pretty crappy, but that's okay because we're going to change the hue and it's going to look cool again. We're going to drop that down to maybe negative 52. Okay, so here's a before, there's an after. It looks a little too saturated for my liking, so we'll drop the saturation down just a tiny bit more. Oh my gosh, fabulous. Stop the clock, stop the clock. We are done. Hopefully that was under 10 minutes. Pretty nice. Pretty good looking, right guys? What do you think? Not too bad. Not too bad. You go from that flat image to that image. Amazing. And like I said, this was taken from a phone. A raw photo taken from a phone. Amazing. Amazing technology these days, guys. So that's it, boys and girls. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and like the video. And if you want more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. I have a few videos that are part of this series that I'm trying to pump out. I'm working on them, so keep an eye out for those. And also, I'm pretty active on Instagram, so if you'd like, throw me a follow on there, pretty please. Doesn't hurt, right guys? It's really the only social media that I use. But yeah. Anyway, folks, I will see you in the next video. Later.